Welcome to Conscious Life Design Season 2. I'm your host, Alina Suk, and today's episode is a simple life update. I'm going to update you on love, career, and personal growth. So I started this podcast around this time a year ago with the intention to overcome my perfectionism. And what I ended up doing was scripting every episode from start to finish. So I want to come back around in this season with the same intention and try again. So today I'm coming to you unscripted, unedited, and raw from my Miami Beach apartment. You better believe this is not my first attempt to record it. Actually, what would be a really funny episode is following me around the apartment today as I try to get this done. Nonetheless, I am here because I believe that when we have resistance to something, it's a flashlight for personal growth. So I'm going to keep going. And thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I also believe that storytelling is extremely powerful. Traditionally, that's how we learn our lessons, from the experiences of others. So I really want to be transparent on this podcast. I want to be more authentic and raw and vulnerable. And I've been practicing on my Instagram stories, and it's definitely been helpful. I've also been practicing inside my online community. I host live events online, so that's been really helpful. So there's been a lot of growth in the past year, and I'm excited to give this another try, and this time also adding video on YouTube. So let's get into it. Let's start with love. My relationship is one of my favorite manifestations of my life. So for about a decade after my college boyfriend, I was just in one situationship after the other, and it was an absolute reflection of my inner state. And all this to say that I always wanted a happy, healthy, monogamous relationship. That's not for everyone, but that's what I wanted, but I could not achieve it. And it wasn't until 2022 that I decided to actually prioritize work on relationships, which is wild because it always seemed to be such a high priority for me, but there was so much going on subconsciously that I was not privy to. I'll share some things with you. For example, I always prioritized career. For some reason, I always felt like career was more valid, and putting your relationship under the spotlight was for some reason less valid. Like it didn't deserve that type of priority. So it wasn't until I got clarity in my own career that I was like, wait a minute, let me actually do the work on relationships, because whatever I'm doing right now is not working for me. So finally, I made that my intention. I uncovered so much stuff. Like, first of all, even just prioritizing career over relationships, that was a big discovery. Also realizing there was a big part of me that actually really loved to be single. I got to a point in my life where I loved my life, and I loved being single because I didn't have to answer to anybody, and that was the attitude that I had. So I had to reevaluate my life goals and my values to recognize that in actuality, a partnership is what would make me feel most fulfilled in this chapter. So I started moving differently as I was rewiring those subconscious beliefs. I talked to my coach about it. I unpacked a lot of things. I considered how my relationship with my parents is showing up in my relationships. And I actually even asked some partners for feedback about how I was showing up in relationships. And this was extremely profound. Actually, I'll share with you a piece of feedback that really, really stuck with me. He actually told me that he didn't like that I was playing the cool girl. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, can you elaborate on this? What do you mean cool girl? He was like, well, you weren't really warm and emotional. Like, you were very, like stoic all the time. And I was like, really? I was like, wow. So can you give me an example of a time? I'm such a Virgo. I'm so like logical about these things. But I was like, can you give me an example? And he gave me an example of a time that I wasn't open. And I know for a fact that in that situation, I was just scared. I was scared to be vulnerable. So I shut down. So a lot of my work in relationships was to become vulnerable with my partner. So that was life-changing. And now in my partnership, it's very healthy, it's very conscious. There's definitely been challenges, but the challenges are towards growth and they're towards an aligned vision. And a quote that I live by from Steve Jobs is, if you have a strong enough vision, you won't need to be pushed. The vision will pull you. So especially having a vision like that with a partner is extremely, extremely powerful. If you're watching this on video, something funny just happened. My camera battery got exhausted and I'm starting again. This is to show how long it's taken me to get through this video. All day long, my mission has been to complete this video. So now I'm charged back up, but my dogs are going to wake up soon for their walk. So now I am on a mission to finish this video. I had just finished wrapping up about love. So let's move forward to career because I don't have that much battery left and the puppies are going to wake up soon. So career, big shifts in career. I decided to significantly pull back on my DJ hours because I learned over the past 5 years as an entrepreneur that you can do anything, but you can't do everything. And I really wanted to grow, nurture, and scale my coaching business. And part of my budding relationship was also a business venture. We started an e-commerce brand together. So with both of those areas of my career really needing my love and attention, because we know that energy flows where attention goes, I made the conscious choice to DJ less. And I really miss it. Sometimes I'm still playing 2 or 3 times a month while I'm here in Miami. I might play in Turkey when I'm there in the summer, but it's definitely not a main source of my expression and time right now. That's not to say that it won't be again. Actually, I'm really excited to share that I did book some studio time to produce some music this month. I did make time for that as a form of creative expression, but in terms of residencies and going and playing for hours and hours, I did scale back significantly on that. And my energy has been going into growing my online community, the Conscious Life Design Studio. I launched that last August, and I've been growing it very organically, opening doors for a new membership and then closing and reiterating and listening to the feedback from my community and building something that I'm really passionate about, something that actually helps me as well. We meet every Wednesday at noon for EFT tapping. Now there's going to be a monthly coaching session and a monthly journaling workshop. I'm really, really excited about this. So I've been putting a lot of energy into that and into the Romanticize Your Life journal. The journal is the first product of a whole world called Botano that is intended to help you live a healthier life. So that's where my energy has been going in career. And the best part about it is that it makes me location independent, which is actually one of my intentions when I left corporate, but then I ended up getting DJ residencies and making my income largely dependent on my DJing. So now I'm back to my original intention of being location independent. And as I leave to Turkey for the summer, I take my community with me. I take the e-commerce brand with me because I have been doing some in-person live events for the journal and educating people on how to use the journal. Ultimately, all of these things I can facilitate online. So that's been a really big win for me in career. As far as my personal growth update, you're looking at it. Vulnerability has been a tough one for me, and the Stoics say that the obstacle is the way. So I like to look at my life and see where do I feel resistance and why. And it is important for me to show up and share my thoughts, feelings, and experiences because when I don't do it, I feel a part of myself is sad. So I'm out here. I know these videos are going to get much better. Future videos and the podcast will include topics on anxiety, self-confidence, self-love, wellness, lifestyle, all things intentional living. I'm really excited to keep going. If there's any topic that you're curious about based on my life update, I would love to hear from you. Send me a DM on Instagram, send a comment, subscribe, like, review wherever you are listening. That would be really helpful for me to get that feedback. I really appreciate you being here and taking the time, if you've made it this far, to watch and listen and connect. And that's ultimately what this is all about. Now, I'm pretty sure that my camera is about to die again and the dogs are going to be waking up for their walk. So I'll leave you with these 3 things. 1, determination. I hope that the determination that I have right now to finish this video transfers over to you and whatever it is that you're working on. Because if I've learned anything is that if you don't want to do something, you'll find an excuse. If you want to do it, you will find a way. This has been an absolute lesson from 4 years as an entrepreneur. 2, gratitude. I am so grateful to be living in so many of my dreams right now. I know that I'm very lucky with a lot of things in life. I also know that I've put in a lot of work. I've done the mindset work, the soul work. I've taken risks. I've taken inspired action. And I'm really grateful for where it's brought me today. And finally, I would like to invite you to join me. I just started the online community last August. So it's a small group right now. It's a great way to get in and get so much out of it. Our sessions are very, very intimate right now, so there's a lot of room to unpack your specific situation and really get so much life-changing experience from these practices that we do every single week and every single month. My personal growth quantum leaps every time that I invest in myself, whether it's a community or private coaching. So if any of my experience or my story resonated with you, I would love for you to join me today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really looking forward to keeping this going. Like, comment, subscribe, review. I would love to hear from you. Feel free to send me a message, and I'll see you next time.